Hey, what's up, guys? Joe Madden here. It is week 14, and we got to talk some Thursday night football. We'll see the Dallas Cowboys rolling into Detroit to take on the Detroit Lions. Now, looking at the spread, currently sitting at 3, and we've got such a high total. 54.5. Now, how did these teams roll into this week? Well, both teams did play on Thanksgiving Day. We did see the Dallas Cowboys getting the win over the Kansas City Chiefs, while the Detroit Lions did fall to the Green Bay Packers. So we got to break down this game, what we saw out of them in the last game. I've got picks, props. I got it all for you guys here on Picks and Parlays. Do me a solid though. Hit that like button over here on YouTube, and also make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification button. You don't want to miss out on any of the great content coming out here on Picks and Parlays. Now, before we get into all of the picks that I'm liking, I want to remind you of everything going on at Picks and Parlays. Have you heard of Flex Picks? Well, if you haven't heard of Flex Picks, it's the ultimate flexibility with your picks. You can go on over to Picks and Parlays and choose a handicapper of your choice. We've got a great special running on those Flex Picks right now. So Flex Picks is the ultimate flexibility to access the daily picks of your choice from the expert of your choice. Now, you can change your mind. You can switch those handicappers, switch your experts up until the plays are released for the day. Now, there's some great packages and great savings on these packages. 3 days right now, only $39 for the month of December. You're saving $30 on that, originally $69. Now you can have a 7-day, 30-day, and 90-day package, and even a yearly package of Flex Picks. Now you don't have to use all 365 days in a row. You guys, it's the ultimate flex. You can skip a day as well. So not only can you change your handicapper, not only can you go in day by day and make your selection, you can also plan a weekend ahead, and you can flex everything over there on Flex Picks. So head on over to picksandparlays.net. Okay, let's jump back into this matchup here. Thursday night football, the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Detroit Lions. Now, looking at the Cowboys, 6-5-1 on the season, while the Lions are 7-5. I do think this is a really buy low spot on the Detroit Lions. I can't believe we're getting them here at home off a loss, only laying 3. Yes, the Dallas Cowboys are coming off an incredible win versus the Kansas City Chiefs, 31-28. And they also beat the Philadelphia Eagles the week before. Both of those times they were home dogs. So if you took them on the money line, you're definitely counting your money right now. But I look at this Detroit Lions team, and yes, they did fall to the Green Bay Packers. But I think because of that, and because of the 2 wins that we've seen out of Dallas, we've really seen this line shift, and it's just too low here for the Detroit Lions. I do think they can win this, and they can win it by over a field goal. Looking at the Lions, I'm expecting Jared Goff to do what he does, and he doesn't turn that ball over. The turnover battle should be won here by the Detroit Lions. Now, I know the defense has been nice and solid since the trade out there for the Dallas Cowboys, but I think here Jared Goff is going to find a way to get that ball moving down the field. Goff in that last game versus the Green Bay Packers, 256 passing yards, 20 of 26 attempts, and 2 touchdowns. We actually saw Jared Goff run. Hands up if you were a little bit shocked when we saw him run for that one run, rushing for 24 yards. I didn't expect that out of Goff. Can we see that again out of him here? Maybe not. I'm not going to be betting his rushing props, but I do think Jared Goff comes out nice and solid with his arms. We'll get into his props in just a second here. Looking at Gibbs in his last game out versus the Packers, we did see him put up 68 yards on the ground on 20 attempts. Williams was a great target out there for Jared Goff, 144 receiving yards on 7 receptions and a touchdown. So Williams, definitely a playmaker we're going to look at this week. Now, I know over the last 3-4 games, we have seen the Lions' average points fall down. This team should be able to get back up over this. Their defense has allowed those touchdowns, though, so they're going to have to keep pace in this game. We've seen the defense over the last month allow 9 passing touchdowns, and they have to come out a lot stronger versus Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. We know Dak in that last game versus KC, he just feasted on the secondary. He did pass for 320 yards, 27 of 39 attempts, 2 touchdowns. He did throw an interception, though, you guys. Javonte Williams on the ground put up 59 rushing yards on 17 attempts. He did have 3 receptions as well for 21 yards. I'm looking at him and a touchdown. Let's not forget about that tutty he got. I'm going to look at him in this game over the 66.5 rushing. Now, CeeDee Lamb off another fantastic game, 112 receiving yards on 7 reception. He's such a great target out there for Dak Prescott. But I do think in this one, I'm going to stay off CeeDee Lamb. I'd look at it maybe in the end zone there because of the passing touchdowns the Detroit Lions are giving up. But I do think this game, it's got to be about the Lions for me. So I'll lay the 3 with the Lions, but then I'm going to look at Jared Goff as well. 250.5 is this passing prop. I'll gladly take that to the over. Coming in at -114. Now, you guys know I love those passing touchdowns, but you can't bet either of these quarterbacks for their passing touchdowns over 1.5 without altering those numbers because of the juice on them. But I do think both of the quarterbacks will go over that number. Interesting to note, you can parlay the over 1.5 passing touchdowns for both of them together. It's it's 2 and change there for Goff, -178 for Dak Prescott. If you parlay over 1.5 passing touchdowns for both quarterbacks in this game, it's coming in at +117. And it's pick some parlays, you guys. Why not throw a little parlay in on that? I kind of like it. When we look at the receiving props, I talked about Jameson Williams and how strong he was in that last game for the Detroit Lions. Jared Goff definitely looking for him out there on the field with St. Brown not in the lineup. I'm going to look at Williams over the 79.5 receiving yards in this game, coming in at -114. Now, I do think we're going to get some big explosive plays out of both of these quarterbacks to combine for that passing prop. When we look at the longest receptions and the players that the books do have, CeeDee Lamb, of course, the main target out there for the Dallas Cowboys. His longest reception coming in at 25.5. Doesn't it feel like a gift, you guys? It's -120. I do feel like the books are giving us a gift on that. And then Jameson Williams of the Detroit Lions coming in at 28.5, -108 to the over. This number is a little high, but I still think he's going to be able to get there. I do expect in this game, with how the improvements have come against the run for the Dallas Cowboys, that Jared Goff, we know he can air out that ball. I've already got his passing prop to the over. I already like him over 1.5 passing touchdowns, and Williams, such a strong target out there for him last week with St. Brown out of the lineup. I expect Williams to continue to be that target for Jared Goff. Jared Goff doesn't turn the ball over a lot, you guys. He doesn't make those mistakes out there on the field. So I will take Williams over the 28.5 for his longest reception. CeeDee Lamb, like I said, that's a gift at 25.5. Give me both of those guys to the over. When we look at the touchdown market, it's hard to bet without having to lay juice. Gibbs there, the running back for the Lions, is -250. That's disgusting, you guys. There's no way I can touch it. You're looking at Williams at -140. Montgomery of the Lions coming in at -110. Williams coming in at +105. Now, I do think all of those guys have the possibility of getting in the end zone. I just don't like the price I have to pay. I still don't even like CeeDee Lamb at +110. So not a great market to target this week in this game, unless you think we're going to see something crazy happen. Jared Goff did have one rush for 24 yards in that last game. Could we see Jared Goff run it in the end zone? Well, you guys, if you think it's worth a bit of a sprinkle, it's +1,300. Could we sprinkle? As for the defensive props, you guys know I love the defensive touchdowns. I wouldn't take Dallas for the pick 6 just because we know Jared Goff doesn't really turn that ball over. But is it out of the question that Dak Prescott throws a pick 6? The Detroit Lions defensive touchdown coming in at +700. Now, I think it's a solid way to go because the indicator for me also is looking. Dak did throw an interception in that last game versus KC, but you're looking at him here to throw an interception, so juiced at -138. You're looking at Jared Goff at +128. I do think Dak throws the interception at -138. The books are telling me they believe he does as well. The pick 6 at +700. If you believe the interception is coming, you guys, I have to put a sprinkle on that pick 6 by the Detroit Lions defense. I do think it is worth it in this situation. Now, when I talk about the defense, the pressure will come. Aiden Hutchinson and Quinnen Williams are your playmakers, one from each team. Aiden Hutchinson here for the Detroit Lions, Quinnen Williams from the Dallas Cowboys. When we look at both of those players to record a sack in this game, you're not getting the value. Again, we're on picks and parlays, parlaying them together at +187. I do think both of them have the possibility of getting the sack. If you're looking for one, I would look at Aiden Hutchinson to throw into your plays out there. I do think he has a better possibility of getting to Dak Prescott than Quinnen Williams does of getting to Jared Goff. So definitely something to note, something to look at out there. But Aiden Hutchinson for the solo sack is -170. If you're able to get him over 1.5 sacks on your books, you should get better value on that number. But you guys, it should be a great game here Thursday night football, again, I'm all over the Lions laying the 3 points. I do think they have more success in this game. Look for them to win the turnover battle. Again, I think this is a buy low spot on the Detroit Lions after coming off a loss on Thanksgiving Day. Meanwhile, the Dallas Cowboys have come off 2 wins as home dogs versus the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. This team is due, in my opinion, for a loss, while the Detroit Lions are due for that win. You guys, all the best in all your bets. Make sure you do stay tuned here to Picks and Parlays for all of the great content coming out here on the daily. But you guys, let me know your thoughts below this video, what you're liking in this Thursday night football game. If you got a same game parlay, definitely drop it below. Before you leave, hit that like button, hit the subscribe and notification button here on YouTube. You guys are absolutely the best. Until next time, stay hot and let's make some freaking money.